Nose there. Got appendages coming up here.
Did we just find a new Native American petroglyph? Not sure. Maybe. But before we go any further with the assessment of it, let's look at where we're at. East Brady, Pennsylvania, on the Allegheny River. This is the last lock on the river before the dam, about 70 miles upstream from Pittsburgh. We ventured out to see a few key rocks along the river banks, notably what locals call Indian Rock and Cornplanter's Rock. Indigenous American tribes have a history of packing and carving petroglyphs along the Allegheny River in several areas. Indian God Rock is one. Parker's Landing, featuring the water panther, is another. Are there other possible areas not yet found? Yes, it is always possible. I was accompanied by my friend and archaeologist Tom Rabbitt. I've been working and learning as a field assistant to Tom and two additional archaeologists as they are deep into a historic recording of petroglyphs in the Ohio Valley. Over the course of assisting and learning from Tom and the two others, I've observed that places that were once marked by indigenous hands often attract the attention of more modern individuals as well. As a social attraction, people want to leave their mark as well. We've wondered, are there petroglyphs that have been overlooked at some of these historic carved sites? And when a rock area has a name, like Cornplanter Rock, named after Seneca Chief Cornplanter, how is it associated with the Native American ancestry? Was there a reason people first named it by some Native American nomenclature? Let's make our way over to Cornplanter Rock and see what we can find. Heading over to Cornplanter's Rock, where we're gonna check out some of the historic carvings on it and see if there's anything else on it, such as Native American petroglyphs. It has a name like Cornplanter's Rock. You never know. With Cornplanter Rock, there are several legends that do go with the location itself. Let's listen to Tom.
And the Indians used to plant corn on it. And white settler killed this Indian man because he thought the Indian man was running away with his wife.
Okay.
So a year later, Cornplanter shows up down here and found the guy's bones and supposedly buried in a cave underneath one of these rocks with a brown marker on it. A brown stone marker.
Cornplanter's Rock is actually a group of rocks. Another legend is said that Chief Cornplanter was chased by a pack of gray wolves, where he ran and he stood upon the high one. Surrounded by the pack, he called upon the spirits for help, and a majestic elk appeared, and with its antlers, it slayed all of the wolves. I'm sure there are other variations to all these legends. Let's look at a few of the historic carvings that we encountered as we made our way along the boulders. Cut X's, numbers engraved with the next below. The front side of one stone was covered with cupules. Some may possibly be related to mooring anchors for boats at one time, but there were many that need a closer look. You'll find numerous initials, names, dates, declarations of love, and some that obviously wanted to break that eternal stone bond, such as this blocked out name. And now we're coming up on, we've walked the shoreline, lots of historic carving. John Campbell, come up here and put my initials and my name on the rock in 1965. Sometimes you see something that might look like an actual carving, and then you get in there and it's just the lichens growing in natural cracks. You can only really see historical carvings from here. Oh yeah. Historical carvings everywhere. I'm gonna have to investigate this rock pretty well. Very interesting.
And to me, this would be the ideal place for Native American petroglyphs.
Over here we actually have steps cut right in to walk up over. We have some mooring holes where they once obviously had some anchors in for mooring, and we actually still have an anchor point over here. And I believe Tom just found some more steps over here. Oh wow.
You got steps right up to the top.
Steps cut in.
Oh, there's a
Tons of
traditional beer can.
initials.
What's on this one here?
We actually have an Indian head carved over here, which is
Leo,
modern but pretty
Doug.
cool. And if we can get
You're
him.
being interested in what to do your front of amateur.
There's his head, nose, comes down the mouth. Up here, and there's a headdress that comes out.
Uh-oh, out your chair.
Some more initials.
Keep an eye out for your eyes.
This is interesting. It's by itself.
I went so much worried about rattlesnakes. There's always copperheads. What's this here, Walter? The nose there. Got appendages coming up here.
Interesting because if you look at it from a distance, you can see individual pecking coming up through. So you'll have the overall design, but there's some pecking coming here. It's interesting. Don't know what it is, but it's interesting. This carving stands out because of the unique design, something not easily recognized to the Euro eye, something that may be a representation of an indigenous view of some animal or mythical figure. The design has pecking, which is usually the beginning step of a petroglyph, as noted by prior examinations of other known sites. It's very interesting. Is it Native American? We left Cornplanter's Rock and we headed downstream where we visited what locals refer to as Indian Rock. This is a unique outcropping with two very large, naturally occurring, very smooth pots on top. Had an assortment of historic carvings, and this one had an interesting carving as well, with possible natural features on some areas mixed with the carving, but definite signs that left this one as an undetermined, perhaps in need of additional eyes or more examination with photography. But once again, this spot did not fail us, and we were happy to visit. On leaving, we noted the paint on the rock as we paddled upstream. Little Italy. We passed by some wildflowers. We visited another site by rope to see many more historical markings. In closing, I want to thank Tom Rabbitt for his professional interpretations from years of archaeological experience. Cornplanter drawings were stocked from the web, and all other work was done by Timber Adventures. We hope you enjoyed. Please give us a like, subscribe, and comment by saying, "I subscribed," and we'll be sure to give you a big thank you in return. Cheers.